Hey, Jake's House family, I just want to welcome you this morning to this time of worship, and I want to encourage you, just take some time today to lay down your worries, lay down the things that maybe have been weighing on you, because God is faithful to His word, faithful to His promises. He is our strong tower. He is the one thing that no matter what is going to remain steadfast in our life. So just choose to lean into Him today. Just make Him big, and no matter what season or situation you find yourself in. So let's just worship.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever pray, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, oh, we live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We'll live for you, oh, we live for you. Worthy of every song, worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, oh, we live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, oh, we live for you. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder show your love to those around us. Be a light to the world. They know you because we know you. We would be your hands and we would be your feet. That they know you because we know you. That we would be your hands and we would be your feet, oh Jesus. That we would be your hands, we would be your feet, oh. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. The more I seek you, the more I seek you, the more I find you. Oh, the more I find you, the more I love you. I want to sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can say. I'm melting in your peace, it's so overwhelming. I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I'm melting your peace, so overwhelming. So overwhelming. Oh, your goodness, oh, your love is so overwhelming, Jesus. Oh, your goodness, oh, your love is so overwhelming. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, Jesus, the more I love you. I want to sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can say. I'm melting your peace, it's so overwhelming. Oh, it's overwhelming, so overwhelming to me, Jesus. No place I would rather be. no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. So set a fire down in my soul. Oh, I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, the more I seek you, the more I love you, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. The more I seek you, the more I find you, the more I love you, Jesus.
Just want to thank you guys for joining me in this short time of worship, and I just want to encourage you. Just seek Him and you'll find Him today, tomorrow, every day that you choose to do that. So I pray that you're blessed and that you have a great day.
What if we could love the way Jesus did? Passionately, faithfully, powerfully. What if the way we love could make a difference in the world around us? What if that love looked at everyone the way God does? A love which doesn't see the past, but is consumed by a desire to see people come to know Jesus. A love which is patient and kind, not envious or prideful. A love which puts others before ourselves, chooses peace over anger. A love which protects, trusts, hopes, perseveres. Do we love like this? Do we love like Jesus? Maybe it's time to ask a simple question. How can we love better?
guys, Pastor Terry here, and I'm in Mill Creek at the youth convention, and I'm excited about the snow that you see behind me, and I'm also excited about this story that I just read in the Bible. It's an amazing story that most of you have probably heard before. It says that Jesus was on a hillside, and a crowd of people gathered around him and sat down, wanting him to teach them. And it says that Jesus called his disciples to him. And I want to read part of the story because it's really about what does it mean to be a true Christian. So here it is. It says that Jesus began to teach them in Matthew chapter 5, verse 40 through 45. And Jesus taught about salt and light. What does it mean to be salt and light in the world? And then he moves on to what is the law and how does that change us? Then he talks about anger, which, a lot of people can relate to, and adultery and divorce. And then he goes on to teach about what does it mean to make a vow, and the big one, what is revenge and why is that bad? But then his last teaching, which is the one we're going to talk about today, it's the craziest teaching. It is loving your enemies. And I want to read this to you. It literally says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 40, if you're being sued in court and they ask for your shirt, not only give them your shirt, give them your coat as well. And then in verse 41 it says, if a Roman soldier comes to you and says, pack my items a mile, which by the way was a historical fact that a Roman soldier could legally tell you as a Jew, you're going to pack my weapons and my luggage for a mile. And Jesus says if they ask you to do that, do it for 2 miles. And then in verse 42 of Matthew chapter 5, it says, give to those who ask. So if anyone asks you for anything, give it to them. And if someone comes to you and says, I want to borrow money, you have to let them borrow it. And then I love it in verse 44. This is where it gets difficult for us. It says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And in verse 45, it tells you why. Because in this way, you will be acting as true children of God. And here's the kicker. This is the one that people don't get. Because we understand that whole story I just read to you, and that this is how you act like a child of God. But then it says this weird thing. It says, God gives his sunlight to both the evil and the good, and it rains on the just and the unjust. What does that mean? Sunshine and rain on the good and the bad? Well, in the Middle East, sunshine was considered God's power because the sun was so powerful it would burn your skin. And the few times it would rain, it was considered God's benevolence. A benevolent God, through his faith and grace and favor, gave you rain. And what the author is saying is that if God himself can give his power and his benevolence of sun and rain to the good and the bad, why can't you as a Christian love the good and the bad? We're so used to only loving those who love us, but Jesus says love those who are angry with you and persecute you. Even the Roman philosopher Seneca wrote, nature happens to everyone, regardless of their disposition to God. So look at the snow. This snow right now is falling on those who believe in God and those who don't. The snow is not saying, I'm going to only fall on those who believe in God. No, like Seneca said, it's falling on everyone. And so the point of the message is, you as a believer, what does it mean to be a child of God? It means you love everyone, not just those that love you, but those that don't love you. Not those who are just good to you, but even those that persecute you. He even goes so far as to say something ludicrous, that you have to love your enemies. Love your enemies. And if ever there was a time for us to love our enemies, it would be right now during this COVID season when people are so upset about, should I get a vaccine? Should I wear the mask? Should I not? What does it mean to be a Christian? What does it mean to do these things? Well, put all of that aside and just understand that the 2 greatest commandments are to love God and to love people. That's what it means. So for this weekend, I want you to focus on not just the snow falling, which is amazing, but focus on this teaching of what does it really mean to be a Christian.